You also run a daycare, I believe, called Excellence Early Learing Center, or at least it's listed on Google that way. And on your website, I think it's also called a leaning center. So I'm just wondering, is it appropriate to be in charge of teaching children when you can't spell learning right? Okay, she's not frozen because she's blinking. She's just mad.
No, I'm not. I'm not mad, but I am acknowledging the typo, and I think that's a more appropriate way to say it. Are you trying to let me know that I have a typo on my website, or were you
I know
just
you're almost out of time, so I want to respect
wanting
your
to?
time here. I also want to know how the daycare is operational if your right to transact business was involuntarily ended in Texas.
Ooh,
What?
Oh, I mean, this is according to the state website.
ooh,
Your
ooh,
registration is inactive.
ooh, ooh,
Not, nothing to
ooh.
say.
I guess I have to figure that out.
Now is Dr. Amina Knight, the organizer behind the Muslim Eid Water Park event. Thank you for joining me.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
I want to just set the record straight because I know there's been a lot of confusion. You did have the Muslims only on the original flyer, and then you changed it and updated it on the site to read modest dress only, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So
Correct.
why did you make that change?
So I made that change because this flyer, when it was originally created, and just to say, this event, this is the third year of the event, right? But it's the second event the second year that it was a private event. And so last year, the flyer also said the celebration is for the Eid. It's a Muslim only event, right?
Hmm.
Now, there was no issue last year. The website was reviewed, the flyer was reviewed by the water park, and there was absolutely no issue, right? And so the show went on. It was wonderful. We had about 600 attendees. Everything was great. So this year, the water park contacted me like earlier on to say, we're ready to do another Muslim only event. Like it was so great last year. Let's do it again. And I was, so happy to start planning and all of that. But okay, so then I just went, took my flyer, revised it for this year, just really with the date.
Just so y'all know, this is the owner of the Learing Center, the Somalian Learing Center.
And put it out there in my private groups because it's a private event.
Uh-huh.
So
Well,
essentially, just
it was
so
on a
we're
public
clear,
website as well.
say it again.
It was on a public website as well. So that's not a private group that you're posting it to, right?
Okay, fair. That's very fair. But the event was circulated, so no people wouldn't just find the website, right? I don't think that you would just look up, oh, let me find a Eid website, right? Unless you celebrate the Eid, right? However, so when I say it was circulated in private groups, that's true because I made the flyer and I circulated it within private Muslim groups because Muslims celebrate the Eid.
I think it's important that I bring this up. I tell you all the time, it's God and family first. That's what this channel is all about, and that's what my ministry is about. But listen, part of putting your family first is making sure that your people aren't being ripped off on Medicare. And I'm not even going to lie. A lot of people are on the wrong plans and don't even know it. That's why I'm working with Chapter. Chapter is the only Medicare advisor that compares every plan nationwide, every single one. And here's what I love. Their advisors are salaried. They don't get paid to push one plan over the other. They look at your doctors, your prescriptions, your priorities, and they tell you straight up if there's something better. Everyone's situation is different. But seniors who found better fitting plans with Chapter are saving on average $1,100 per year. And if you're already on the right plan, they'll tell you that too. They're not trying to take advantage of you. So there's absolutely no pressure. Taking care of your people, that's ministry. Call Chapter for free today at 843-949-4383. That's 843-949-4383. And speak to someone, a real person, for free. It only takes like 20 minutes. That's all. Do it for your family.
So to let the Muslim community in DFW know, hey, I'm hosting this Eid event again for the Muslim community. Now
So,
you asked me, why did I change the flyer,
yeah.
right?
hmm
Okay. So a few days ago, the New York Post contacted me and they said, hey, did you know that your flyer in this event is going viral? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Right? Because again, I'm doing this again for the third time. Why would my little event at this water park we go, like, for what reason? So once I spoke to the New York Post, I'm like, okay, well, if all these eyes are not on the flyer, my intention is not to exclude people, right? And so I quickly changed the flyer because other communities were looking at it to be a modest fashion only event, still for the Eid holiday, but just to make it clear that modest fashion is required for this private event that I'm throwing at the water park.
Yeah, I mean, because it does read like you were trying to exclude non-Muslims. And I just wonder, I know that you feel like you were wronged in this, but I just wonder if you feel like it would be fair for, say, a private group to rent out a publicly funded water park and put on, their posters, this is for whites only.
How do you dress modestly at a swimming pool? I mean, well, okay. Let me stop. I know the difference between a bathing suit and a bikini. Okay, let me just keep that a buck. But as a Muslim woman who covers her whole body, her whole hair, her whole head, everything, do they want all of the women that come to dress that way now? Or all of the men to come to not even have the shirts off, like, or wear like the tight Speedos? You just got to wear certain types of baggy shorts. I don't know.
I'm struggling to see the difference in that.
Yeah, thanks for asking that. Well, so there's a couple of things there, right? Marginalized groups like the Black community or like the or like the Muslim community oftentimes need to take a moment to gather, fortify each other, and then go back out into the world. It is not easy identifying as a marginalized person in this country where you constantly feel like there's a foot on your neck for one reason or another. Maybe because you're Black, maybe because you're Muslim.
So then why not have like just a private pool party at someone's house? I mean, because my question actually was, how is this any different than someone holding a whites only, KKK party at a publicly funded water park? And I feel like your answer before we had some technical difficulties was just, well, it's okay for us because we feel like we're a marginalized community, but it would not be okay for whites.
Well, here's the thing. And what is your name actually?
You agreed to do an interview with someone whose name you didn't know?
I don't remember your name.
It's Sara.
Okay. Thank you. So, Sarah, tell me your question again because your answer threw me off.
Okay. So my question was, before we had some technical difficulty, how is this any different? Saying we're having a Muslim only event, putting it on posters several times and on the website all over the place saying Muslim only, exclusively Muslim event. How is that any different than the KKK putting on an event that says whites only? Black people can't attend, Muslims can't attend. How is that any different? And I feel like your answer, that's why I'm giving you a chance to clarify. I feel like your answer was, well, it's okay for us because we feel like we're a marginalized community, so it's okay for us to exclude.
Okay. So here's the thing, Sarah. If anybody rents out a private space and for a
It's a public
private
space.
party, it could be that somebody says, hey, I'm renting out the water park for the Knight family reunion. If your last name is not Knight and you're not part of the Knight family, I wouldn't expect you to come, but I also wouldn't broadcast that all over the world. I would only send it to my target audience. right? And
Right,
so
but that's
that
not
is what
that
was
doesn't violate
done.
discrimination laws. There is no
That
discrimination
again?
law that doesn't violate discrimination laws. There's no discrimination law that says you can't have a private event for a family reunion. There are discrimination laws that say that you cannot have a private event that excludes people based on their religion. That is
Okay.
federal statutes and state statutes. So how do
Okay.
you think that that's okay?
Well, Sarah, the first year that we had this event, and we did not rent out the water park, although the Muslim community had a wonderful time, being with the larger community. We wanted to be able to curate a space where modesty and modest dress was the standard.
So
And
you
for
did
the
want to
Muslim
exclude
community,
people.
say that again,
So you did want to exclude people based on their religion.
based on their modest dress.
Well, no, you just said the Muslim community. And so we wanted to be able to create a space where we could just take over and exclude everyone else.
I didn't say that, Sarah. You said that. You can play back
Well, I
what
mean,
I
you did say it on the
what
flyer,
I
but
said. Yeah. So let me finish my sentence. What I said is that after the first year, when we held this event, and it was we just a lot of Muslims, say 500 Muslims, came to the water park and enjoyed the water park with the wider community. I got a lot of feedback that, hey, we would love it if this space, if we could have a day where the water park was rented out and it was just Muslims at the water park, because Muslims uphold a modest dress code and we're celebrating our Eid events. Okay. So, therefore, and you're absolutely right. I didn't think anything was wrong with that. I didn't.
wow. By the way, are people going to get their money back? Uh,
Sarah, I didn't expect that if you asked for an interview with me that you were going to be so aggressive. But
okay,
yes,
by asking
absolutely.
by asking if it would be okay if we could do a whites only event as well and how that was
No,
different.
it's just your tone. Is that how you just speak to people normally?
Yes.
If it is, that's okay, and I'll just
Okay. I'm asking if people are going to get their money back. Will they get their money back?
absolutely.
Okay. And then we had some questions on the Ascendant Faith LLC that the money was going to. We couldn't find any listing for that here in the state of Texas anyway. What is Ascendant Faith LLC?
I don't know where you got that from or what you're talking about, actually.
Well, when people go to your website to buy tickets for that event, it says that Ascendant Faith LLC is who is receiving the money, and you don't know what that is?
I don't know. It must be some type of typo.
It must be a typo.
Mm.
Interesting.
Mm.
Very interesting.
Wow. Okay, Sarah. Sarah is digging. She's getting it done, man. Now, I do want to touch on what she said though. She wanted there to be more modesty in the park because when they went the first time, they were sharing the park with people that they were judging. That's it. They were sitting there as Muslims in their space, having a good time, not being picked on, not being discriminated against or anything, but at the same time, they are judging other people. Let me ask you something. If you do that to other people in other groups, what do you think is going to happen to them? What do you think is going to happen to you? You're going to receive that same energy. Energy boomerangs, energy transfers. You're sitting there with all of your people from your community who are Muslims in a water park filled with other people who practice different religions or none at all. And they're just there to have a good time, for real. Like they're there. I'm here to cool off. I'm here to swim. I'm here to talk to some people who look good. I'm here to eat. I'm here to enjoy this sun, right? But you and your community, your Muslim community, are sitting there judging all of them and saying, you know what we need to do? We need to have our own day where it's a lot more modest dress. For you to have that in the flyer means that that's what you were judging the entire time you were there. You were judging everybody else that was not Muslim. And you were saying, you know what, we're going to have our own day where it's going to be nothing but Muslims. It's going to be modest dress. We're not going to see all of these butt cheeks and thighs and stomachs and breasts and all that other stuff. We're not going to see any of this stuff. We're going to see whatever Muslims dress up like when they go to the swim pool, which I've never seen. But at any event, this is what they wanted.
You also run a daycare, I believe, called Excellence Early LEARING Center, or at least it's listed on Google that way. And on your website, I think it's also called a leaning center. So I'm just wondering, is it appropriate to be in charge of teaching children when you can't spell learning right? Okay, she's not frozen because she's blinking. She's just mad.
No, I'm not. I'm not mad, but I am acknowledging the typo, and I think that's a more appropriate way to say it. Are you trying to let me know that I have a typo on my website?
I know you're almost out of time, so I want to respect your time here. I also want to know how the daycare is operational if your right to transact business was involuntarily ended in Texas.
Ooh.
What?
I mean, this is according to the state website.
Ooh.
Your registration is inactive.
Ooh. Ooh.
Nothing to say.
I guess I have to figure that out.
Okay. And
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're having a conversation with a big content creator, huge platform. You didn't know that you was going to be asked these questions? What did you think that you were going to be pampered, or what? What did you think?
Nothing to say.
I guess I have to figure that out.
Okay. And the Ascendant Faith LLC, you are dead set on that was a typo. That's what you're saying.
I am set on. I actually don't know what you're talking about.
Oh.
And I thought you wanted to talk to me about how I felt about the event being canceled, which I was happy to talk to you about.
And we did talk about that. So
okay, so that's it. I don't have anything else to talk to you about, but I appreciate you reaching out.
okay. Well, I hope that you've learned your lesson. You can't exclude based on religion here in the good old US of A.
I do not want to exclude.
God bless
people based
Amina.
off of
God bless
religion.
Amina. Goodbye. Anywho.
Let me tell you something, Sarah, you did a damn good job. You did a damn good job. She's not used to having interviews like that. She was hoping that she'd be praised for what she's done in her community. She was hoping that you'll give her a softball interview. I'm just saying, if Nick shows up and start investigating again, leave Shirley alone. Leave him alone, because I say that he's doing a bang up job. Y'all let me know whatever y'all want me to know in the comments below. If you have yet to hit that subscribe button, please make sure you do so on your way out the door. Once again, guys, I'm Van, and now we are all the LFR family because you hit that subscribe button. I hope to coach some of you guys and teach y'all the ways of the internet. You know what I mean? Reach out to me and let me know. Hit me up with the word coach. I'll see you on the next one. Love you. Peace. We have been helping people grow online. It has been absolutely amazing. We have helped many content creators get from zero to monetization in under 30 days. We even have a couple of these superstars who did it in 1 or 2 weeks. If you want to learn how to do YouTube, I don't care your age, I don't care what skills or talents you have. Trust me, I can help you do it effortlessly. Just reach out to me with the word coach and we can get it done. One more thing. We have a YouTube course that I just now created. I'm extremely proud of, and a lot of people are getting so much from. Purchase that course and work with us. You can join our private Facebook group and our daily group calls, which is 3 to 5 days per week, and you can learn so much more than you've ever learned before. I can't wait to hear from you. Love you. Peace.